Welcome everyone to another edition of Wednesday Night Mayhem live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is good old MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio, and my goodness, what a day! We will have a lot to talk about tomorrow night on Strictly Sports because let's just say this, folks. Um, the world's been turned upside down, inside out, and yeah, it stinks what has just happened. Um, Basically, the NBA has announced that they have canceled the remainder of the season. We don't know how much of the season has been canceled, but the league has been canceled. One of the players has contracted the coronavirus. It was Rudy Gobert. And there was supposed to be a game between the New Orleans Pelicans and the Sacramento Kings. The game has now been postponed. This has just crossed the wire just a minute ago. Like I said, we're gonna have a landscape about it tomorrow night. What was undoubtedly was going to be a very good, very decent show has really taken a life of its own. I mean, this coronavirus thing has really ripped through not just the NBA, but all the major sports. Anthony Florio will host it. This is going to be very interesting. This is going to be a very interesting show. I mean, this is going to be pretty powerful, to say the very least. But we will do it tomorrow. Of course, we're going to do wrestling right now, Wednesday Night Mayhem, and we will start off with AEW. AEW in Salt Lake City, Utah at the Maverick Center. And we started it off. Let's see. We started it off with a one-on-one match, as it was Cody Rhodes with Arn Anderson and Brandy Rhodes going up against Inner Circle member Ortiz with his buddy Santana. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 11 minutes and 35 seconds, Cody. Big win, nice victory for him. Look, a good match, and yeah, I thought this was a very good start. I give this about 3 stars. I thought this was an okay fight. Better than expected. I really enjoyed it. I really had nothing more to say. So, Anthony Florio, I give it to you.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, MF. I mean, all I can say is Corona Mania has run wild. That is all.
No, and that's no pun intended either. But yeah, it's this is crazy, man. What a weird world we are living in right about now.
What a horrible world we are living in.
Yeah, I know. It's hard times. It's like the late great
Major
Dusty Rhodes, like the late great Dusty Rhodes would say, "It's hard times, Daddy." And sure as hell, this is hard times.
Oh, you're not kidding. And it has impacted the world of professional wrestling. I mean, WrestleMania 36, night after Raw. Oh boy. There was one thing that we wanted as part of it. We're not getting it now.
No.
Unless a miracle happens.
Well, because of that ban from the Euros, well, I know we're supposed to talk about wrestling, but we'll talk about this as well, because this is kind of part of it.
Yes.
The President of the United States, Donald Trump, earlier tonight, made the announcement that all European travelers will not be welcome to the United States for 30 days. And and unfortunately,
goodbye, Mania.
that does in fact knock out the Europeans from attending WrestleMania
and Raw the night after.
So yeah, this is really a very bizarre situation, and as a matter of fact, as of tomorrow, the city of Tampa is supposed to make an announcement as it relates to the remaining events that happens in their area. As of now, WrestleMania has not been canceled, and WrestleMania could possibly happen in an empty stadium.
And that would absolutely suck.
I mean, imagine that. WrestleMania with the big, gigantic stage with everything and no fans to watch the event.
The only way they'd get to watch it would be on the WWE Network.
Yeah.
Or traditional pay-per-view.
For
those poor souls who fork over that ridiculous amount of money.
But I kind of feel like WWE's got to do something right here. If I'm McMahon, you got to make WrestleMania free. Just this one time. Bite the bullet. Make it free for pay-per-view. If you're WWE Network, you got to, you're already covered. But for the people on pay-per-view, though, I say make WrestleMania free for everybody to watch.
Amen.
I would.
Great idea.
Or Derek Ferreira made a very good argument. Have all of the Raw matches, that was supposed to be at WrestleMania, have it on Monday Night Raw. Have the SmackDown matches that was supposed to be at WrestleMania on SmackDown, and the NXT fight, which was supposed to be the women's title match, make that the main event of the NXT show on that Wednesday. I could see that happen.
I wouldn't have it.
Or put it as a special event and we put that on the NXT TakeOver as the main event.
Now, that would be something. But, we will definitely be monitoring this very, very closely.
Oh, absolutely.
There is no question about that. I mean,
we have to now. More than ever, we got to keep a very close eye on this.
Yeah, the world of professional wrestling has been shaken. The sports world has been shaken with the NBA, and of course the equally sad announcement about the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I mean, unreal.
And now they're talking about maybe moving the Final Four out of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, maybe moving it to the Phillips Arena in Atlanta, and doing the Final Four in a smaller venue. They might be forced to do that.
Unbelievable. But,
yeah.
But let's get into this because we could go all night on this and we don't have that.
We'll talk about this tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Yes, we'll make sure it gets the necessary time it deserves. But anyways, Cody against Ortiz. Slight disagreement, MF. I'm actually going to give this 3.5 stars. I mean, the match not only made sense coming out of last week, but it also served as part of the build to the Blood and Guts match, featuring the Elite in the Inner Circle. The match was a really good and fun competitive outing, and I also love the arrival of Lance Archer to tease his feud with Cody following Jake the Snake Roberts' surprise debut last week. And I also love that Archer was not involved in the finish either. So, that's really all there is to say on this. 3.5 stars. That's my rating for it. Not the fight of the night, though. That's coming later. But for right now, this is 3.5 stars. So, MF, let's move on.
All right. The next thing that we did have, then there was, so next up we had was AEW Women's Champion Nyla Rose and Bea Priestley going up against Chris Statlander and Haruka Shada. And when it was all said and done, Nyla Rose and Bea Priestley wins the match in 10 minutes and 10 seconds. And after the fight was over, Bea Priestley made her intentions known going after Nyla Rose. And I mean, Anthony Florio, looks like we got ourselves a new contender for the AEW Women's title.
And what exactly has she done to merit that? I don't know. I saw on the screenshot, it said that this was her first match in 3 months.
Yes, it was.
Not this was Bea Priestley's first match on an AEW Dynamite since all the way back on December the 11th. That's 3 months. That was 3 months ago.
Yep.
Okay, but I'm going to give it 3 stars for the effort. Despite Bea having a slip, it developed into a good match with Shida being over huge, even though she lost. This was not the best booking decision, honestly, as Hikaru Shida really made the match. To me, but then again, maybe they want to save Shida for down the road, and maybe Hikaru Shida could be the one that ultimately dethrones Nyla Rose. I don't know when that could be. Maybe at Double or Nothing on May 23rd, Memorial Day weekend. I don't know. We'll see. But it's a 3-star match. But MF, tell me again, what has Bea Priestley really done to earn herself a title shot? Nothing.
No, and you're absolutely right. And I actually slightly disagree with you on the rating, Anthony. I'm only going to give this 2.5 stars.
Fair enough.
I thought it was a good match, no doubt. But I don't know. I kind of felt like it just didn't really do anything for me. Just it was there, it was fine, but really nothing amazing about it. All right, guys. So let's just move right along. Next up, we do have is a 6-man tag team fight. It was the Butcher, the Blade, along with the Beautiful Bunny, and MJF with Warlow, and they went up against Jurassic Express, Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt. When it was all said and done, the winners of the bout in 12 minutes and 5 seconds was Butcher, the Blade, and MJF. All right, solid fight, 3 stars, no doubt about it. It was a good battle, good match. Nothing too amazing that really got us. Yeah, I got ample a lot of time. The crowd was definitely in. Definitely got behind Jurassic Express, but the outcome was not in doubt. And I'm gonna say it, MJF is continuing to go up that trajectory to possibly become the next challenger for the AEW World Title. He hasn't lost the match yet. He keeps winning matches, and as much as we may not like it, he's now put himself in a firm spot where he could possibly become the number 1 contender for the AEW World Title. I know Jericho is there, and he's the number 1 guy, but if the rankings is fair, MJF will leapfrog over Jericho, honestly. So, nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
3.5 stars for me on this one. This was a very good and fun match. Jurassic Express wildly over here, and MJF picking up the win as he should have. And Salt of the Earth on Marco Stunt to win the match. And I talked about. I know it's not for a couple more months, but the next pay-per-view event, Double or Nothing, at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, Memorial Day weekend, Saturday night, May the 23rd. And perhaps that could be where MJF may get the title shot, maybe. I could see that. I don't know if they do rematch clauses, but you would have to imagine at some point they may have Jericho invoke his rematch clause. But if you're going to do that, I would do it on a Dynamite show. I think the big money match when it comes to the next pay-per-view, especially for the World Heavyweight Championship, would be Jon Moxley and MJF. That's just how I feel about it, because MJF's right there. He's number 2 in the rankings behind Jericho. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But nonetheless, though, MF, this was another fun match. This was another 3.5-star match. Jurassic Express. Marco Stunt, Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, and of course, Big Luchasaurus. They continue to be fun to watch each and every week. Those young men just really impress me. They're fun. So, but I'd like to see them at some point get, a meaningful win. But tonight, this was about, continuing to get MJF over as the most, as the biggest heel in the company. Mission accomplished. Move on.
All right. Now we got into something very interesting, and I know, Anthony, you're going to enjoy this. Tony Schiavone interviewing his friend, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, down boy. And with everything going on, interrupted by Big Swole. And yeah, it kind of broke down at that point. So, Anthony Florio, give me your thoughts on this one.
Dr. Britt continues to be a hit. That's all there is to say on that. I mean, she gets lovelier by the week. And this was, another fantastic heel promo by Dr. Britt. I mean, she's getting that heel heat. I mean, you heard that crowd. That crowd was poo-pooing on her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she and Big Swole, they went there. I mean, for those of you who may not know, Big Swole is actually the wife of Cedric Alexander. And of course, it's well documented about Dr. Britt and Adam Cole, baby. We already know that story.
Yeah.
But Big Swole and Cedric Alexander, they are married in real life. And you saw Swole, she says, "I'm married, baby."
Oh.
What do you suppose she meant by that?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. We know what she meant by that.
Oh, yeah.
You should not have done that.
But all in all, this was a very good setup for the expected singles match to come. I could see it on a future Dynamite. We just don't know when. I don't think there's any way they hold this until the pay-per-view. No way. Not with the pay-per-view being so far out. But for right now, on a future Dynamite, Dr. Britt against Big Swole, that could definitely be that could be a big match when it comes to that could have women's title ranking implications in that one. Think about that. One of those two could be in contention for the women's title down the road. So, but all in all, that was a fun segment. It was a great setup. So, Dr. Britt against Big Swole, I'm for it. How about you, MF? I loved it.
I'm wondering what Cedric Alexander and Adam Cole must be thinking right about now that both their women are about to throw down in AEW. Honestly.
Good question.
Because that's going to be an interesting matchup. That will be a very interesting matchup. That has makings for a good, decent women's fight. No doubt about it. I mean, Dr. Britt is getting better in the ring. Big Swole, I think we've seen a decent amount of her and seen some good body of work from her as well. This could be interesting. Hold on, Anthony.
Yeah.
Come in. All right, so we're just going to move right along. Next up we had was a 6-man tag team fight, as it was Pac, Pentagon Jr., and Rey Fenix, or collectively known as the Death Triangle, or I think it was, and they went up against the Private Party and Joey Janela. When it was all said and done, the Death Triangle wins the match, 11 minutes and 35 seconds. Solid fight. I mean, decent match. Of course, the Death Triangle at the end try to get the upper hand, and then the Best Friends showed up. And whenever you see the Best Friends, of course, that's Beretta. That's Beretta. That's Chucky T. But that's also my boy, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. Hands in the pockets, put the thumbs up. Hugs for everybody in the building. That's how how that goes. So that was pretty cool. Look, it was good. I got really nothing else to say. 3 stars for me. Anthony, it's yours.
For me, MF, this was actually my fight of the night. I'm giving this 3 3/4 of a star. It was a very good match and tremendous all-action sprint overall, with the Death Triangle rightfully winning to kick off their run. I mean, they had to win this. I mean, if you want us to take them seriously as the next great heel stable, and I'm already taking them seriously. So, well done, Pac. Well done, Lucha Bros. I mean, they're always fun to watch. And man, I mean, there was a point in the bout where where it looked like Janela was going to steal it a couple times, but no, but he did not. But I still believe in my heart of hearts that Joey Janela is a future up and coming star. I think he's a future star of the business, no doubt about that. He just has to get some opportunities to go his way. So that's all there is to say on that. But for right now, if you want us to take the Death Triangle stable seriously, you got to get him over. And this was a good first step right here. And what I feel was a very fun and fast-paced match. It was a fun-ass match. So fight of the night for me, 3 3/4 of a star. So I believe it's main event time on this, MF.
Well, hold because of the fact that next week, guys, on AEW, we're gonna have a 6-man tag team fight. The Death Triangle versus the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy.
Actually, it's a tag match. It's a tag match, actually.
Regular tag match? Okay, so regular tag match.
Pac and Orange Cassidy are in the corners.
Okay. Well, because the way that they actually announced it, or whoever Jason, the way that Jason Powell wrote this down, he just has as he doesn't mention it as a regular tag team fight, so that's why. What he has here is as the Death Triangle versus Best Friends and Orange Cassidy, so that's how he has it. Also, there's the Exalted One, the reveal of the Exalted One, and the Inner Circle will face the Elite in a 6-man tag, and the winner of the fight will get the 1-man advantage in the Blood and Guts match. Basically, under as many of you guys know, the Blood and Guts is basically the equivalent of War Games. Basically, only way to win the fight is either by submission or surrender. So, then we had a sit-down interview with Jim Ross, conducting it with AEW World Heavyweight Champion Jon Moxley. Yes, 0 F's given on that.
Oh boy.
I'm not gonna say the actual word. I'm gonna paraphrase it like Justin Roberts did at Revolution. And then we did have, like you said, the main event, and it was a tag team fight, as it was Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho versus Adam Hangman Page and Dustin Rhodes. And Hangman Page and Dustin Rhodes wins the match in 10 minutes and 20 seconds. And then all of a sudden, well, a big old brawl broke out. All hell broke loose. So, I mean, good main event. 3 to 3.5 stars. Good fight, good battle. The post fight was excellent. I didn't mind the brawl at the end because it basically played into the Blood and Guts. So, no, all in all, good thing going. Nothing bad to say. Anthony, it's yours.
3 1/4 stars. I'll meet you in the middle, MF. It was a good main event tag, serving as a backdrop for the Blood and Guts build, and the hot post-match angle where the Inner Circle stood tall once again. And that match goes down in 2 weeks on March 25th at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. And, of course, it's the same rules as the War Games match. 2 men will start, 5 minutes. And then the next man comes in, and every 2 minutes, the next competitor comes in, and then the match officially starts once all 10 men are inside the ring. And then that's when the submission or surrender comes into play. So my early gut feeling tells me the Inner Circle is going to win it, because I got a feeling that's the night where Hangman's going to implode. I think that's where Hangman's going to turn, right there.
Okay.
That's just my feeling. So we'll have to wait on that. But for right now, 3 1/4 stars for the main event, to conclude what ended up being yet another very good edition of AEW Dynamite. And over the last several weeks, almost like the last month or so, they've been putting together some really good shows, and they're doing it at the right time. So nothing more to say. Let's get to our overall review.
All right. Anthony, you actually lead off on the overall review.
8 out of 10. It was an 8 out of 10 for me. I mean, what else is there for me to say, except that it was another quality show, like I've been saying. It was filled with good wrestling, angle advancement, putting people into the right positions as we move forward. Good, effective, very fun show, fast moving show, easy flyby here. I mean, it's not a chore to sit through, unlike our shows, but it is what it is. So, but for me, 8 out of 10. I would have to say for the last maybe 4 to 5 weeks, AEW has put together some really good quality shows. Keep it up. So it's an 8 out of 10 for me. MF, what do you say?
I agree. 8 out of 10. I'm not going to argue with that. I think you definitely made a very valid point. Very good. And yeah, no, we're going to go right into NXT now. We started it off with the North American title on the line. Keith Lee going up against Cameron Grimes. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 11 minutes and 56 seconds. And still the NXT North American champion. It's time to bask in the glory of Keith Lee. And yes, I was basking in that glory. This was a hot start. This was a really good fight. I really got nothing else to say. 3 to 3.5 stars. Good big man fight. Good be a man fight. This was excellent. This tore the house down for me. I can't say nothing else, man. This was awesome. Awesome. Congratulations to Keith Lee. We bask in your glory one more time, man. And keep up the great work, man. That's all I'm saying about that. Anthony Floyo, it's yours.
Yes. You actually forgot to mention something, MF. This NXT show was live tonight. Not from Full Sail, but from the WWE Performance Center.
Yeah, first time ever.
Well, yeah, first full show. Full show, yes. But it's not the first time. The first time that they ever did anything at the Performance Center was the awesomeness that was Halftime Heat last year, which we all agreed was far better than that Super Bowl. But
yeah,
and that was a 5-star classic, oh by the way. So but anyways, getting into this, I agree about 3 to 3.5 stars. I mean, I'm actually leaning more towards 3 to 3.25. Honestly, I mean, it was a solid match, but it never quite reached the top level both of these men can reach. Grimes felt like a worthy contender, but not a true challenger. He was never going to defeat Lee. At least the two did not go overboard with their finishers, and it looks like Damian Priest and Dominik Dijakovic have been set up as the next challengers for Lee, and a triple threat with those three, Lee, Priest, and Dijakovic, for the North American title. Between those three would make for an incredible opening match to NXT TakeOver Tampa. Yes. So that's something to think about. I mean, y'all remember Lee and Dijakovic, they opened up Portland, and look what happened. They tore the damn house down.
Oh, yeah.
Mauro Ranallo probably let out the greatest Mamma Mia I ever heard. So
I can imagine what Michael Bullock would do, because remember, he's now the new voice of NXT.
Yes,
he's replaced me. I'm gonna for a number of years, it was me who as the lead commentator, but since I want to say since NXT went over to USA, Michael Bullock has actually took over as the new lead announcer for NXT. So, I mean, it's on him now.
He's a work in progress. So
yeah,
I mean, he's got a long way to go to catch up to you and even to me as my Vince McMahon style.
Yeah.
So when I do the Monday Night Raw,
of course.
But and especially you, because come on, you're the Gorilla Monsoon, JR, what have you.
Oh yeah.
Always and forever. So that's all there is to say on that. But he'll get there eventually.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But that's all there is to say on that. So for me, 3 to 3.25 stars. Solid way to start. So let's move on.
Then we had Mia Yim going one-on-one with Dakota Kai, of course, with Raquel Gonzalez. This was the qualifier for the number one contenders in the ladder match. And when it was all said and done, Mia Yim punches her ticket She will be now a part of the ladder match in 9 minutes and 41 seconds. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
This was another 3-star match for me. Mia Yim is great and one of NXT's best. But me personally, I feel it was an odd choice to have her qualify for the 6-woman ladder match over Dakota Kai. The captain of Team Kick has been on a big run as a heel. And I thought she might have been the perfect woman to maybe even win the ladder match and possibly be a future challenger for Rhea Ripley in the NXT Women's title. But the contest was solid, but surprisingly short. I mean, these two almost have as much heat as Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox. And I feel they deserve a chance to play on that at some point. So that's really all I can say about it. But I'm going to give it a solid 3 stars for the effort. I think Yim, I mean, I actually had both of these in the ladder match. I mean, I don't know how they're going to determine it, but to be honest, MF, I feel Dakota Kai should have earned the spot here.
You know what? This is tough because I think Mia Yim also deserves it.
Oh,
her body of work also says yes that she deserves the opportunity. But I think they both should have been in the match. I don't know who you could replace though. I don't know who on that roster would not deserve a spot in there. I think we got to wait and see how it goes. But I honestly, right now, I could make an argument that both ladies deserve to be in the ladder match. But the problem is, who do you take out right now? I mean, Chelsea Green? Does she lose the spot? I mean, I don't know. This is where it gets a little interesting because, or does Dakota Kai steal a spot from somebody else and sneak her way in? So, I mean, I guess we won't know until it happens, you know? So, we're just going to have to wait and see. All right. So, next up we had was Kushida, one-on-one Raul Mendoza. Kushida wins the match in 3 minutes and 58 seconds. This was more of a fast sprint. This was more of a, I gotta give this about 2 stars. And this was a fast sprint, you know? This was more of a fast sprint type fight. Just something that we just, you know, it was unfortunate. I thought the fight was going to be a lot more longer, and it was kind of underwhelming, unfortunately. So there's really nothing more to say. So, Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah. I'll meet you in the middle. I'm actually gonna give it I'm actually gonna go a little better on that. I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars. It is a shame that Kushida and Mendoza did not get a chance to go for longer. They are good together and they have perfect styles to contend with each other. Mendoza may not be on Kushida's level, but he can push the pace with him. Kushida needs longer matches to at least look like he belongs again. He barely feels relevant to the black and gold brand anymore, even as the commentators put him over as a man everyone wants to face. So that's all there is to say on that. So 2.5 stars. Let's move on.
Next up we had was the Queen, Charlotte Flair, showing up. And, well, of course, Rhea Ripley was going to show up. And it broke down. And this time around, it was Charlotte Flair that got the upper hand, got a little payback on the NXT Women's Champion. So, yeah, nothing more to say. So, Anthony, it's yours.
If it wasn't for what happened at the end of the show, I would have called this the segment of the night, but I can only give this second best segment of the night honors here. I mean, what did I say on Raw the other night? I wanted to see heel queen Charlotte Flair. We got her tonight.
Yep.
We got her. She did exactly what I said she should have done. She went after the fans. Good for that. And then we got to see that vicious, angry heel queen side of Charlotte Flair. Angry queen heel Charlotte Flair. As I said the other night, I'll say it again. That's the best Charlotte Flair. It really is. And Charlotte and Rhea, they work well off each other, but it works better when they get physical. Charlotte always talks around the feud too much, but when the two get to brawling, it is a strong preview of what is coming at WrestleMania. The Nightmare has to win on the grandest stage of them all. So any opportunity to build up Rhea Ripley as an underdog, I consider that smart booking. And I still feel, in my heart of hearts, that Rhea Ripley will go over. I know MF disagrees. I know MF thinks Charlotte's going to win it and go back to NXT, which would be a big shot in the arm for that women's division. But at the same time, the reason I think Rhea goes over is, you really want to give Rhea that major shot in the arm. And if you can have Rhea Ripley beat this generation's best overall, all-around talent in the women's division, like a Charlotte Flair, 10-time champion, on a stage, on the grandest stage of them all, you do that, the Rocket Pack will be strapped on her and then some. So, for me, second best segment of the night. I would have called it segment of the night, but what happened at the end of this show tonight, that's why this one takes a back seat. So, all I know is MF, out of what we've seen from these two so far, I think this was the best build yet.
Anthony, hold the thought. I just got some breaking news out of the world of wrestling. For the first time ever, SmackDown Live will be broadcast this Friday night from the WWE Performance Center. That's right. You just heard me right. SmackDown Live Friday night from the WWE Performance Center. This is being reported by PWInsider.com. Confirmed just minutes ago. SmackDown will be on the Performance Center, will be emulating from the WWE Performance Center in Florida on Friday.
Originally scheduled to be at the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit.
Yes.
Gee, I wonder why. Corona Mania has struck again.
Mm-hmm.
So, but all I know is MF, as I give it back to you here, the Rhea and Charlotte build has been great so far, but I think tonight was their best work yet.
Yeah. Wow. So, all right. So there you go. Yeah. All right. And now they're talking about, all right. This is from Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful.com. It says SmackDown has been moved. SmackDown has been moved to the WWE Performance Center. I've been told WWE is considering this for several upcoming events, meaning it's possible Monday Night Raw could be heading to the Performance Center as well.
Goodbye, Pittsburgh.
So we're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe the upcoming WWE events might be like probably the road to WrestleMania.
Goes through the Performance Center.
Probably goes through the Performance Center.
For all shows going forward.
Yeah.
All remaining Raws, all remaining NXTs, and all remaining SmackDowns.
All from the Performance Center. That, keep it contained. Keep it within one area. I mean, that's fine. But we'll see. We'll see. All right.
Let's get your thoughts on the Charlotte and Rhea segment, which to me, I think was their best one yet to this moment.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to disagree with that. I thought this was a great way to do it. I thought this was incredible. I really got nothing else to add, and yeah, it just adds more fuel to the fire heading into WrestleMania. I loved it. All right, so next up we had was Diana Purrazzo one-on-one with Tegan Nox. Another qualifier match. Tegan Knox qualifies for the ladder match. Wins it in 2 minutes and 26 seconds. You know what? I'm going to say it. I mean, all right, I get it. Tegan Knox deserves it. She's gone through a lot this past year. Well, that adds 3 women to the fight. Chelsea Green, Mina Yim, Tegan Knox. Oh, wait a minute. Wait just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
That might be where Dakota jumps in. Take Tegan out? Steal the spot for yourself?
Exactly.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, NXT, you shrewd bastards. It makes all sense now. Florio, go. You could call this an NA. We could NA the fight.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. It is an NA. The girl with the shiniest wizard needed a turnaround win like this, and she got it in a complete squash. It's a shame that she and Deonna Purrazzo could not have done more. However, it made sense to rebuild Tegan Knox. Dakota Kai must still be finding a way into the ladder match if her ultimate rival is already in the contest. I mean, I could see them filling up 5 spots, and who knows, maybe that last spot could be determined in some sort of a last chance match, like a last chance battle royal or something.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
And that's where Dakota Kai will get in there. I still think she's going to be in the match, and not only that, I also think she's ultimately going to be the winner of it. So that's just how I feel personally. But it is an NR. It's a no rating, NA, whatever you want to call it. You're absolutely right. So really nothing more to say except we got another championship match, and did this deliver like it always does.
NXT tag team titles on the line. The Bruiserweights. Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle goes up against Undisputed Era, the Red Dragons. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, winners of the bout in almost an exact 20 minutes. And still the NXT World Tag Team Champions, the Bruiserweights, Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle successfully defend the titles. Anthony, it's yours.
Fight of the night. There's no doubt about this. 3.5 stars. I mean, while not quite up to the level of their takeover bout, this was another strong, action-packed title clash. Undisputed Era bring the best out of everyone, and the Bruiserweights found shocking in-ring chemistry from the first time they teamed together. I think the grizzled young veterans are going to be the next challengers. I think it'll be Riddle and Dunne versus the grizzled young veterans. I could see that at TakeOver Tampa. Those two teams have been built for an energized brawl that could be even better than when those two teams battled in the final match of the Dusty Classic. So that's really all I can say on this. But this match was 3.5 stars. It was my fight of the night. And all I can say, MF, is I think the UE's now out of the way. I think the grizzled young veterans are going to be Dunne and Riddle's next challengers, and I can see that at TakeOver Tampa.
All right. With that said, we do have one more thing that was left on the docket. Oh my goodness, Anthony, you alluded to it earlier.
MF, did you give your thoughts on the tag title match?
I'll give this about 3.5 stars. 3.5 stars. I just want to keep moving. One match I do want to announce next week, guys. Candice LeRae versus Mercedes Martinez in a qualifying match. So maybe this is where your theory comes in about maybe Dakota Kai getting in there. You know, if Mercedes Martinez wins the match, maybe do you substitute and let Tegan get in on that way? You know?
No, I think one of those two will get in. I think it's ultimately when they determine the final spot. When 5 of the 6 are, when we get to 5 filled, they'll need a way to determine the last one, and that's where I believe it'll be a last chance battle royal of some sort. And I think that's where Dakota will get her moment.
All right. All right. And then we did have our moment. Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, just an absolute craziness of a segment. They went there, it got personal, and the carnage, and it went wild. This was an insane ending to a show. Anthony, the greatest rivalry in NXT history has been reignited, and man, sit back, relax, get a popcorn. For you, get your orange soda or Sprite. For me, get a Coca-Cola. Because, man, they turned this thing lit tonight.
This was the segment of the night right here. I mean, when these two get together, it is instant fun. I mean, while the energy of this brawl did not always feel like it was main event level, it was fun watching Gargano and Ciampa destroy the Performance Center to hurt each other. The two destroyed the place that helped bring them together in the first place. And this segment was filled with memorable spots. And the ending was unforgettable. It sold a level of animosity between these two. There's only one question left to answer. How does any of this reach a satisfying end? You know, when it comes to take over Tampa, you know it's going to be these two. And it's not going to be a straight up wrestling match. Oh no. There's going to be some sort of hardcore stipulation of some sort. That's all I know. We'll have to wait and see what Mr. Regal has to say about that. But for right now, man alive, I mean, that final scene where Ciampa with the air raid on Gargano off the pedestal through the NXT announce table. I don't know. I don't know if it was just me, but I thought I heard a muffled "Mamma Mia" by Morrow. I mean, I don't know, but all I know is, wow, that's all there is to say. So, MF, I mean, their matches are always every match they've had was 5 stars, and hell, anything these two do is always 5 stars. Forget whether it's a match or, in this case, a segment. These two can't do any less than 5 stars.
Yeah.
They can't. So that's all there is for me to say. Segment of the night. MF, I mean, what's going to happen in Tampa with these two?
Yeah, it beats me. Beats me. All you know is that something bad is about to happen with these two guys. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe. That ring is not safe. And you know that they're going to, because remember, they're so sadistic, they might even bring out that board underneath the ring. That might be the only way this fight could end. Somebody's going to get hurt bad. And there's going to be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, I don't know. This is insane. Yeah, there's really nothing more to add, Anthony. The overall review, I'm going to lead it off. I got to give it another 8 out of 10. I mean, this was just as good as AEW. I think this was an absolute draw this week. I don't think you can pick one over the other. So, with that said, Anthony, I give it to you.
Yeah. Nothing was bad. I mean, tough. I mean, both shows, were both easy watches like they always are each and every Wednesday night. And yeah, I mean, AEW, they've been on a roll lately, but NXT had a couple of rough patches recently, but now they're starting to catch their fire again, and they did it here tonight. Once again, I mean, Ooh. Now, it seems Keith Lee will meet Damian Priest and Dominik Dijakovic in another triple threat match, though at this point, I would have preferred the fresher sounding singles match with Priest or an extended feud with Cameron Grimes, especially after the fire of their opener tonight. Women's ladder match continued to take shape and head in unexpected places. TakeOver Tampa is looking pretty hot, just as large crowds are starting to be problematic and events are canceled or postponed around the country. And I like the idea of the PC as an occasional venue for NXT on a night when something else is booked at Full Sail. A different view, even in such a small space, added a lot to the feel of the show. And, that's really all there is to say on that. So the tag title match delivered again. So some other things could have been better, but, I suppose 8 out of 10 is the correct rating. So, but what really stood out to me, not just that tag title match and that North American match, but also those two great segments with Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley and the closing segment with Gargano and Ciampa. 5 stars as always. So let the build to Tampa continue. So nothing more to say. MF, let's put the bow on this and set up for what's going to be a very interesting Strictly Sports tomorrow night.
Dude, tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, Strictly Sports, and we're going to be head on about this coronavirus thing. Basically, it has affected a lot of us. NBA canceled. The NHL right now, certain teams have announced that they're going to continue their season, but with no fans in their arenas. How's that going to affect? As far as all the tournaments go, they all are still going to happen. The ACC, the SEC, the Big 10, Big 12, Big East, they all will all continue their respective tournaments, just without the crowds, without the fans. Actually, as a matter of fact, the Big East just announced just minutes ago that the tournament will not have general public. So basically, they will not have it. The NIT, the NCAA, NIT men's and women's tournaments will not have general public attending for these events. Only personnel and family members will be allowed to be at the arenas for all of the tournaments. So yeah, we're gonna full preview that. Plus, we are gonna continue it with basically we'll also continue with the XFL. As of now, the XFL is still going. So the coronavirus has not stopped them, and they will keep playing. So yeah, we really got nothing else to say. It'll happen at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Anthony, this has been a wild sports day, to say the very least.
Oh,
and
what about your are you still going to do your UFC 248 recap, MF, or are you going to put that aside? Doesn't matter.
I'm probably still going to do it, but it's going to be very interesting. We'll say that to the very least, but I think we'll still do it. So I'll cover the 248 recap, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, so nothing else to say. Thank you, Anthony Fleo. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video, leave a comment at the bottom. Share with all your friends on all the social media platforms. As always, have a good night, everybody. And for all of us here, for Anthony Florio, I'm Michael Fletcher saying so long, everybody.
Goodbye.